Do you have to pay your taxes? There's a lot of people saying that you don't have to, that you can avoid it, that they have a scheme, a method, a technique by which you can avoid paying all taxes. I'd like to address that today. First of all, there's a number of people who advocate these things. Particularly one I've heard about recently is an organization known as the Freedom Law School. This has gotten a lot of hits lately. And this guy claims that he hasn't paid taxes. His name is Peyton Matanade. I probably butchered the name there. And he claims he hasn't paid taxes. However, he did have a court judgment in 2008 obliging him to pay $90,000, which he had to pay. And then again in 2014, the IRS took him to court, not a criminal indictment, but a civil indictment for not paying taxes for the years 2001 and 2006. And the court judged that he had failed to pay and he owed money. And then he appealed this, and he went to the U.S. Ninth Court of Appeals. And in 2023, and the appeals court agreed with the lower court that he had to pay these taxes. So it's one thing not to file your tax returns, another thing you still have to pay. So, he has not done well. Now, one strategy for not paying taxes is to not make much money. And the second strategy would be as if you work for somebody who's automatically withholding your taxes, you don't necessarily have to file a tax return if the amount withheld is equal to or more than what the taxes you owed. But again, who wants to live cheap? All right. We want to live wealthy. And if you're a trader, you're selling, you're making capital gains. These are big numbers the IRS is interested in pursuing. Do not listen to these groups. A famous actor, Wesley Snipes, who made some really powerful movies around the year 2000, went to court and saying he didn't have to pay taxes. And he was making a lot of money, millions. And he disagreed with paying taxes. He ultimately went to jail and was imprisoned as a poster child for someone who avoided paying taxes. Wesley lost far more money being in court and having to pay the IRS. Plus, he abruptly ended a very successful acting career by being in court for a long period of time. So he would have done far better if he just simply worked, paid taxes. And that's the case for most people. You think of the richest people in the United States, they got to be rich, paying taxes and continuing to make more money with what they save. So that's my advice. The IRS has a website. They call it Frivolous Tax Arguments, and they list about 60 arguments and the IRS position against those arguments. So if you hear somebody saying, oh, don't pay taxes, you don't have to, I'm a sovereign person, yada, 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 do not accept it. Don't sink your teeth into the hook, which at the other end is your demise. Yeah, sure, they may have gotten away with it, but if you follow their strategies, you'll be the one to pay if the IRS disagrees. And this is exactly what happened to an individual named Richard Thomas Grant, who, following advice, ended up serving 33 months in prison. So do not follow that scheme. Think about your long-term life and pay your taxes. That's my advice. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and follow.